Whatever.
Are you wearing a Mandy shirt?
Yeah.
Mm.
She had to make up for the last time she didn't have the shirt on for the movie.
Yeah, I forgot.
You
Yeah,
did.
I was like
The Jennifer's Body shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wears that more often than not, probably. And like the one day we're actually doing the movie.
I know. I wear that shirt all the time and I didn't wear it that day. But I was like, oh, I have a Mandy shirt. So I want to wear it.
Silly Aid.
Yay. I know.
Oh, I have something. Y'all talk.
Okay.
I can't find.
Can't find what?
I have a box of cheddar macaroni. I mean, goblin cheddar.
Goblin cheddar. That's amazing.
Yeah, my friend gave it to me.
Is that a real
and that's-
thing?
I mean, it was made for the movie. It was like a limited thing. And my friend bought a bunch of them and gave us all some. I can't find mine. It's in my library somewhere, and I don't want to take up too much time looking for it because I'm pretty sure it just looks like a book right now with me and my dumbass trying to look for it.
Unless you ate it without
Is that a fat joke?
No. With that, this is Slashers, your new favorite podcast about your new and old favorite horror media. Apparently, according to the last episode, we don't do enough multimedia. And the boys the boys get to talk all about their comic books while Aid is away. How convenient.
Yeah.
But now Aid is back. So
Boo.
Kill that.
So sorry.
She's like, and that will be the last time you hear about comics on this show.
Exactly.
I know. It's like, sorry, kids.
Not sorry. Anyway, I'm joined today with my mutant goons from beyond, my boo boo Mikey and and Lance.
Hello.
Boys, say hello to the mutant goons from beyond, even though you've said it already. And yeah, I know. Like, what is going on? I leave for 1 week and everything is in disarray.
Hi
anyway,
again.
hello.
Hello again.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. No, you're not. We decided that it was my pick for this week, thankfully, and I decided to pick 2018's Mandy, starring Nicolas Cage. So I'm really excited to talk about that one with you guys. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while now, ever since I've watched it. I do have the t-shirt on. It is one of probably my top Nicolas Cage movies. I do love him in Valley Girl and Moonstruck, but those are such old movies. And I'm not a huge fan, you know this, of what are the shitty Declaration of Independence movies and
National Treasure.
Yeah, whatever.
National Treasure. National Treasure is so good. I don't care.
National Lampoon's Treasure.
Oh my gosh.
Those
Come
movies
on.
are so bad. They're just so corny. They're so
And don't forget
awful.
his pinnacle role as when his first Dracula role before Van Helsing, or not Van Helsing, I'm sorry. The vampire one where he actually eats a cockroach.
Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah.
Lance. That's not his first Dracula role. That's his first vampire role.
Well, his portrayal of a vampire, technically.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you for your mansplanation. I appreciate it.
Wow. It'd be a gay explanation. It was from Mikey.
Explanation. I didn't say it. You
Mikey
did.
didn't say it. You did. Have you lost your mind? Are you going senile right in front of us? My goodness.
He's going gay in front of us again.
Well, that too, I suppose, which I guess is fine. Anyway, so whose first watch was this? Was this anybody's first watch, or had you all seen it before?
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It'd been a really long time, obviously, since like when it first came out. But I realized there were certain things that it still bugged me.
Did you see it in theater?
Yeah, I did actually.
Did you, Aid?
No, we streamed it.
Yeah, I never saw it in theater. I wanted to, but I never caught it. And my friend was always bugging me to watch it because he's like, "It's my favorite." Blah, blah, blah.
It was a very short theatrical run, and then they started streaming it, I think, through Shudder because it's quote and a Shudder exclusive. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, there will be plenty of spoilers ahead of us in this episode. However, before we get into the movie, I know that Mikey, you just saw, who saw that new one?
The devil one?
Yes, the devil one.
Me.
Okay. So, any new horror media? Mikey, would you like to go first since that one's actually getting really good reviews from a lot of people? Late Night with the Devil.
Yes. Una Noche con Diablo.
Mhm.
Which actually, funny enough, it actually has a connection to this movie because they talk about a demon, Braxis, and Braxis is who the cult members worship in Mandy.
Nice connection.
So Late Night with the Devil is really, really good. The only thing that bothers me when people say I've never seen anything like it, I'm like, bitch, watch Ghost Watch and WNUF Halloween Special. They're all great, but I wouldn't say Late Night with the Devil invented this idea. But it's very 70s, so age, you'd love that.
Mm.
Mr. Dalmatian, whatever his name is, did a really good job. And I was kind of, because those movies are really fun, like WNUF Halloween Special, I wouldn't really consider it scary because they're campy. It's 80s/90s. I don't remember which decade it was in. But a lot of the fun comes from the nostalgic commercials and, the way it looked
I love that.
in the presentation. Whereas Late Night with the Devil successfully was very creepy. So I was very pleased about that because when you make movies like this, you can't just start it off with a girl twisting her head all the way around going full exorcist because then it's like, well, that's not believable because this is supposed to something that taking place in front of millions of people. So of course it does like the slow creeping of the magnitude of the events, but it was really good. I like it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, and it's definitely on my top list of things to watch.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. I'm really excited to see that one. And then what else?
I was gonna watch that Easter movie, but I passed out before I got the chance to watch it after I showed you guys on
Oh,
the
Easter,
chat.
Bloody Easter.
Yeah, which I was
Yeah.
kind of hoping it was like gonna be like some like parallel to Christmas Bloody Christmas. So I was like, oh, okay. Like maybe it's gonna be a correlation to it. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I looked into it. I mean, it looks funny, you know what I mean? It looks good, like in its own way. But it reminded me more of Postcards to the Devil, or right? Or what was the right the one that you showed me, Mikey, the one that's almost
Oh
like a
my
park.
God. Slater's Letters from Satan Claus.
Oh, Satan Claus,
Postcards
Oh
yeah,
my
from the
God.
devil.
yeah.
It
Hey, maybe
does
that'll
have
be
that
somebody's
vibe.
movie.
It
Yeah,
does
but
have
like
that
Oh my God.
because the buddies at one point are like gonna come at you, and I was like getting critters from the bunnies, and I was like,
I was
oh man,
getting
this,
Critters vibes also, especially
yeah,
because it was on Easter, Critters 2
yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
That's so
So I
This
was
is
funny.
like, I was
how
like,
I
oh, this
know.
really looks fun.
This is how I know I've known Lance for quite a while because now I understand his language.
Yes.
Um,
He has his own language. He
yeah.
does. Hmm.
But
I know what he's trying to say, but he doesn't quite get there, does he?
no, but we still love him all the same.
That's true. So back to Mandy. So Mandy comes out a couple of years ago, and it was one of those. I don't know if you guys had seen any of the trailers or anything for it when it was popular at the time, but it really, for some reason, I really wanted to watch it. I kept seeing all of these ads for it. Looked like a lot of fun. Nicolas Cage's face, and you always see this. Which, spoiler alert, if you all haven't seen the film yet, um, the part where he's like looking at the camera all fucked up and
In
crazy
the
at the
car.
end, yeah, in the car is the ending of the film, right?
Yeah.
So, like when you get to that part and then it ends, you're like, are you fucking serious? Like, how are they gonna put the end of the movie in the trailer? But I think it works.
I think
Either
that,
that or you go like, woo, nice job, fuckers.
yeah, I think,
Yeah.
well, also because in the trailer you don't really know it's the end because it just looks like he's driving. But if I remember correctly, even though I didn't see it right away, I think what drove a lot of people to the theater to go watch it is they advertised heavily that this is like a heavy metal inspired, trippy, like if you love these bands and this music from the 70s and Manson, that this is pretty much made for you. Obviously, you
Yeah,
don't
I
get
mean,
there.
it definitely dragged me to the theater because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, because I'm more of a fan of Nicolas Cage when he does really like off the wall shit. Like he seems to really thrive when it comes to those kind of movies.
Hmm.
Um, and this definitely like gave off that vibe, like, oh shit, okay, because
Yeah.
like again, like you said, his eye gesturing and his facial mannerisms when it looks like it's like gonna be like, oh my god, like kind of crazy. I was kind of like, all right, I'm
Well,
in.
I
Soundtrack
mean,
seems pretty decent, and he's
fuck
bloody.
me if I'm wrong, but like, I think this is the start of the Nicolas Cage resurgence, isn't it? Because after this, we
Uh,
had the llama one, and then we had Wonderland one, Pig, all the
yeah,
other
yeah, I guess it
ones.
is. I
I
thought Pig was
think
maybe before that, but I thought, but maybe yeah, this is might be the one that like, which is weird because I have so many issues with their editing for this.
he gets on a horror podcast, and all of a sudden, he's over here, Lance Editor
Mhm.
2.0. Let's
I
Mm,
edit this show,
know.
folks. My goodness.
I
Oh,
know.
I'll
That
give
shows
you a
you I
clue.
really like
There's
your job.
one person here who's not an editor. I'm just kidding.
well, he's got lots to say about it.
This is okay. I know Nicolas Cage is like big, whatever. Everybody loves him, yada yada yada. I am going to upset everybody and say I really liked him in Ghost Rider. I know we don't like Amber Heard, whatever, but she was okay in it. But when I saw
Mikey.
Ghost Rider, I was like, this is what? I'm sorry. I'm
Oh.
sorry. It was okay.
Sorry, what was okay?
Ghost Rider with Amber Heard.
Oh.
Anyways, and then after that, he did Left Behind, and I was like, okay, here's the death of Nicolas Cage's career. And then after
Mhm.
Left Behind, it was kind of quiet with some not so great movies. But then he did Mom and Dad in 2017 with Selma Blair, and that's when I was like, oh, that's cool. It wasn't like the movies he does now, but it was kind of getting there, like an indie horror where he plays like
Mhm.
a, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's basically parents try killing their kids for some weird reason. Like there's like a epidemic going on where parents are now trying to kill their kids, and he plays
Oh
the
yeah,
dad.
it's a great
And then
movie.
it is
Great
really
movie.
good, and I love Selma
Yeah.
Blair. And then in 2018, Mandy comes out and starts this Renaissance era of Cage, Nicholas uncaged, if you will. And then Color of Outer Space, Running with the Devil, Pig, Willy's Wonderland, Butcher's Crossing, and then Renfield, Sympathy for the Devil, and things are still coming out that are all in the same kind of. Even though Renfield is definitely more mainstream, the other stuff is a little more wackadoodle and hit or miss.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's I think really important that we note that because I feel like these off the wall bonkers films showcase what he can do so well. And especially
Yeah.
with this one, he totally flies off the handle, obviously for good reason. But I was actually reading that that's when he was going through his divorce with his newest wife, and he had to like get all his rage out somehow because he said he didn't see it coming and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really good him screaming in the bathroom, drinking the vodka in his underwear, I think is probably he's so good at just doing these types of roles. Because like if you even look back at like, Moonstruck in 87, he was only 24 when he did that movie. And or 22. I think he was younger than that. I can't remember. But like he's so good at just playing like these and I don't even want to say that they're crazy, but they're overly eccentric characters that are believable. Like they don't really feel like this is like a character you never meet because you kind of already always know someone who's just kind of a little off and like you hit the wrong button and boom. And so I think he does a really good job with that. And so I'm actually really happy that he did this one because it kind of restored my faith in him because I thought he was doing a lot of it. And you're right, Mikey, because if you look at he did a lot of franchise films from 2004 and 2011. Some, National Treasure, I know somewhere in the midst of all that bullshit.
Oh, but Ghost Rider's bad. Jeez.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah, I got well, I
Yes.
actually I've
Johnny
only
Blaze should
seen
not be that old. I don't care what anybody says. Also, could you imagine him and Jeff Goldblum being in a movie together?
yes.
ugh,
I'm just
And Eiffel
saying.
Towering me. It's amazing. But he's a
Mm.
very intense actor. I mean, hello, everybody. All three of us were on set this past few months and we're doing, giving Meryl Streep a run for her money, honestly. And, if you tune into Frightmare's podcast with Austin, when Jenna was on, she talked about this is Jenna Cannell. I was gonna say Dewan Tatum. This is Jenna Cannell from Renfield. She talks about how he'd be off, like he was a great person. She loved talking to him, but he'd be off like in the corner, like running his lines, getting into character and stuff. And she was like, it was a feat to see for sure. So he's definitely one of those really intense actors that takes his acting very seriously, no matter what the part is, and that's very respectable.
Yeah.
I think he even has a screaming coach.
Yes, I did
Does he
read that
really?
also. Yeah, he was
hmm
uncredited in the movie though.
This is not an easy role. I don't even know, like, just at the beginning, he's so subdued. And then when everything happens and it just kind of like, the whole catalyst of the film, once that happens, you see a whole shift in the movie in tone and in aesthetic and all of that, which I think is just amazing because at the beginning it was very subdued, right? Like they're living this like, calm life near Crystal Lake. Gotta love that,
Yeah,
right?
that
Gotta
was a
love
little
that reference.
obvious. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I
I
get
was
it.
like, huh, probably
Mm.
shouldn't live near that lake. Just
And
saying.
she's an artist. I think it's 1983, I want to say, and she's an artist, and she also works at the gas station to help pay bills. And he
She's
does
the
his
president of the
thing,
Tilda Swinton fan club. Like,
She loves
clearly.
Motley Crue.
Yes. And so, they're a nice couple because they have these conversations. And one of the things that I was dreading besides watching what happens to her, but was rewatching was that story she tells about her father bludgeoning the starlings, which I think is just so horrific. And Mikey laughs. Thank you, Mikey.
that's because I have to tell you all about.
What the time that you bludgeoned a bag of starlings?
No,
Please don't. I have
I'm
no
I'm
no
gonna
need to
say
hear this.
I can't take this movie seriously. And it's because it starts at that story. You know that my favorite meme I send you with the Barbie who's like with her double chin and she's like, that was my face from that point until the end. And I was like, you know why I wouldn't be in this situation? Because if someone told me that story, I'd be like, why are you telling me this? We need to get you to a therapist. Like, it's and so yeah, that was my face from here on out throughout the rest of the movie was, and I'm gonna have to send that to y'all again or put it on my background because I just love that meme. And this, I was laughing the whole time during this movie because I was just imagining that meme being my reaction to everything going on.
And of course, when she's all drugged up and he like pulls his robe open and you see his nasty little potato dick, and you're like, that was my face, Mikey. That was exactly my face. I was like, I would have laughed too. I guess it would have been set on fire in the in the sleeping bag.
I cut off the whole meme. I made a meme and it's this image and it says on top, my dad came up with the bag of starlings. And then it's
Oh my god.
I mean that, and honestly, and for those of you listening, if you're listening to Mikey say like that is not a funny story. It is not a funny story. Like that story makes me cringe listening to it. I hate listening to it. And I was dreading having to rewatch the movie for that one. That scene and her getting burned alive, I was like, I'll just gonna fast forward all these parts.
Is it bad that you say that and like I was watching that scene again and I was going, huh, eh,
yeah, extra
eh,
crispy.
The
whatever.
sleeping bag scene.
Yeah, whatever. I laughed when I saw Jason was an X when like they have the cheerleaders in the bag and they're slamming them against the tree and it's like in the hologram scene and he's like they're all laughing and I was dying. I was like, that's amazing.
Different tone, Lance, different
Yeah,
tone.
yeah,
Yes,
very different.
My
clearly different. This is not a
goodness.
slasher. This is a revenge film.
Well,
I
right,
forgot
but at the
she
time.
died.
Oh, Mandy.
Yeah, that's how much I was invested the first time around. I was watching and I was like, oh, she died.
Well, that's why he goes insane, right? And he doesn't really. So at the beginning, like he's still himself, I think, to an extent, and then after he takes the that. So what's going on with the drugs now? So this is what makes it a psychedelic trippy film, y'all, because apparently these meth heads took like the wrong meth or LSD or something that was like mutated, and it made them into these like crazy ass mutant biker type I don't
Cannibalistic
even know,
Satanist
cannibal,
vampire. Yeah.
Satanist, I don't know, every little thing that you could think of. And so eventually, in order to defeat them, Nicolas Cage has to take it himself. And so he's not coming back from that, right? Which which I guess is fine. I mean, like, I think it would suck. Like you watch the person that you love most of the whole world just burn to death, and then where do you go from there? Like, what do you do?
Well, what did you think of the weird like technically for all words it's Hellraiser, the Hellraiser scene where they blow the whistle and then these guys come out of nowhere on motorcycles. But then
Yeah.
they almost take away their like weird creepiness by saying, oh, they live in this house together and they do coke and watch, like it's like, oh, that's weird. Is that what the guys from Hellraisers do when they're not like being called on from the box? It's like
First of all, you're talking about the Cenobites. They're not the Cenobites.
Yeah,
But yes,
Lance.
they are very similar to that, I guess, in tone, sure.
well, he calls it from the little rock whistle thing, and then they show up, and then you're thinking, okay, that's cool. Okay, so there's more like something going on here, but then it gets totally ruined by him going to their house or waking up in their house. No one feels like the urge to murder this guy for some reason. They have many chances to murder Nicolas Cage's character, which most people would have done. Why let this guy live every 2 seconds? It's like he obviously was trying to murder you. Like you don't look like the kind of people who ask questions. So it's like, why would he still be alive? Like,
Oh, Lance.
no one. All right,
I
I'm just
just
saying.
I don't remember that part.
I know.
So what happens the first go around? I think they left him there to die outside. Like they didn't think he was going to get out.
Well, that wound probably should have murdered anyone.
So they assumed that he would just die outside because he was stabbed and he's bleeding and he's he's tied up with barbed wire around his mouth, around his hands. Like it's not like it's easy for him to just, oh, let me slip my wrist through this. And it wasn't easy for him to get it out. Like think Gerald's Game, ladies and gentlemen. And so, he gets out of that. And then I think with the bikers are not well. Like his friend even tells him, like, they're not really people anymore.
Oh,
But
the
what
random scene where he collects weapons.
well, he's got to go pick his shit up. He's got to go make his thing. And then, and that's when, once he makes that weapon, that's when the credits pull up and you see the whole metal Mandy spelled out that Mikey says he can never read because
Oh, I
he
was like,
doesn't
is
know
that
what
what
the
it
hell it says.
said?
Yes, it says Mandy.
Yeah,
And
there's not just sticks being thrown on the ground,
Like,
Mikey.
oh, how beautiful. We're summoning the Blair Witch.
well, yes. And so thank you. But
Mhm.
and I think this is where the movie really starts to pick up and the shift really begins because this is where everything goes batshit crazy. And I just love that. Because you have that nice dichotomy of a very somber type slow burn at the beginning where you're building up to all of the craziness that's about to come. And then when it does come, like it hits and then it doesn't stop. And so of course, yes, we could kill him, but then we wouldn't have the rest of the movie land. So
Yeah,
I'm not
Lance.
that's fine, and I get that, but it's like he puts alcohol over it at one point and is on his hands. That doesn't seal up your wound.
it
Like,
cleans them
and bleed you.
out.
It doesn't stop it from bleeding. Like, you still have a giant hole in you. Like,
He's
at
fighting
least
infection, Lance.
sell him to the devil. Like, make a pact with somebody so you get healed, so you're going to get set revenge or whatever, or have him sit there and actually stitch it up. But to not even have a scene where that shows that it even gets
It wasn't
healed to
even
some
that
degree.
bad.
That's
Okay,
but
if
that's not
Lance
the
ever
point.
cuts himself, he's just gonna sell his soul to the devil, even if he just needs a band-aid.
Oh my God.
Hey,
I'm sure you wouldn't hear the end of
some
it if
people
that
live for no
happened.
reasons. Some people live for a reason.
What?
I'll sell it to the devil.
What
Fuck
does
it. Let's
that
do it.
even sometimes I wonder what's going on in that head of yours. But
No, it's
anyway.
more like what's in that cup. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
good luck
Pretty
editing the ice out, by the way. You're gonna be in
I
trouble,
know,
Lance.
Mr. Jiggle Jangle. Yeah, so he plays the character Red and obviously Mandy's his what?
Wasn't me this time.
Sorry, I'm getting a glass of wine. Two of you are on my last nerve.
Wow, Lance. I
What?
told you,
I
Lance.
didn't do anything this time. Just ice
I
guy over here
can't
for some reason.
believe you, Lance. After everything she tells you.